which has been encouraged and wrongfully promoted by political class. Obana advised that adequate sanctions and punishment should be given by the government against everyone involved in such acts.
Any politician or electorate or officials of electioneering process that does it had committed a crime in the first place. Now, the $1 million question is, in the 22 years of our democratic experience, we've always witnessed, some of us have evidences of people who promote this primitive culture of vote buying. And we don't see this penalty or this sanction or this consequence as prescribed by the law meted against these persons or brought before the law or brought to book. Don't forget that in itself will encourage further promotion of this kind of culture, because we've not had punitive measures in the past, against those who actually commit these offenses. That is one major fact we must understand why till now, and in the case of the Anambra election, people are still emboldened to go ahead to be buying votes and induce people to accept or refrain. Now, having said that, the second factor we need to understand is it also reveals that the candidates in question lack the popularity that is necessary in a democratic society. Because when you talk about democratic electioneering, you're looking at popularity. You're not looking at an individual dictating who emerges as the leader. You're looking at a process that encourages popular participation. In other words, a candidate that will represent the popular opinion.
He added that vote buying and selling happens because citizens have a poor understanding of proper democratic practice. He urged government to educate Nigerians on this issue.
And what represents good governance. In other words, his or her civic duty in an electioneering process, that in a democratic society, power belongs to the people. And that is where you get the phrase, free and fair election. The voter or the electorate is not supposed to be under any compulsion or inducement to exercise his or her franchise. Democratic society entails or encourages that from the beginning, he has to be free in all ramification. He shouldn't be subject to any form of harassment or intimidation to vote against his or her will. And we are insisting on this because that clearly explains or largely explains the reason why we are suffering this unfounded economic hardship. Because the leader there do not actually represent our conscience. So that is the motivation to why the seller is willing. First, there is no understanding. So perhaps one fundamental mistake we have made as a people and as a government since 1999, we are privileged to inherit a democratic society, is that we needed to commit more time, energy, and resources to educate the people on how democratic society and what represents good government. We have not done that. The NOA, National Ranger Agency, is just existing on paper.
This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return with more reports after